Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at the 1 to 5 player game Distilled. This is going to be published by Paverson Game, and in this game you're going to be inheriting a distillery that is seen better days. You're going to want to bring your family back to its former glory, refurbish this distillery, and be able to produce the best spirits ever. So you're going to be doing this over 7 rounds, and the player who does it best will win. Let's go ahead down the table. I'll give you a general idea how the game flows, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Distilled. In Distilled, you have inherited an abandoned distillery from a distant relative and are now tasked with bringing your family business back into its former glory. Over the course of 7 rounds, you will acquire ingredients, items, recipes, and upgrades to create the world's most renowned spirits. Whoever has the most spirit points at the end of the game earns the title Master Distiller. So in this game, you're going to set it up as seen right here. You're going to have this special ingredients deck, you're going to have this premium item deck, you're going to have this upgrade deck, and you're going to have 5 cards out of each at any time during the game. And you're also going to have this basic market, and these are going to be goods that are available all the time. You'll also have the scoring track put out, where each player is going to get their own really cool wooden meeple here, or wooden piece here, of different ways of distilling. And you're going to put out your labels based on your card that you pick at the beginning of the game. Now there's a whole ton of these, and they're both double-sided. Everyone's going to be using the same one, so once you pick which ones you want, you're going to pop them in here, and then you're going to place the labels out based on player count. Each player is also going to get a handy-dandy board here. They're going to get their starting items of a metal barrel and a glass bottle. They're also going to get a starting character. And there is a lot of starting characters to pick from in this game. So and all of them have different abilities and different starting resources to them. But there's a lot to pick from. So you get a lot of little asymmetric powers in the game and a lot of different ways that it can be set up. Right here, if I pick this character here, during the sell phase, sell each spirit for $2 more than if using a bottle from the matching region. So this is going to indicate the region that all your stuff's coming from here. And on the back side here, it gives you a little synopsis of this character and gives you your starting resources. It tells you your signature item that you'll try to get in the game to make your signature recipe. So you'll gather all these items up. You gather your signature recipe, put it down here, and your starting money, and here's his signature item that he doesn't have right now. You have to unlock it later on. In addition to that, you're going to get the 5100 counter if you ever get over 50 points. You'll get 3 gold cards, and you'll try to at least probably make 2 of them throughout the game. You're going to lose 1 halfway through, or about halfway through, between round 3 and 4. And someone's going to get the starting player. So that's just briefly this part. But the name of the game here is to brew some alcohol. And at the start of the game here, you only know 3 different alcohols that you can make. You can always make your signature recipe. You can only do that once. After that, you're going to pop out this little label here and put it out. Other than that, you could always make moonshine or vodka. So moonshine here requires that it has none of this sugars in here, and vodka requires that it has any of those in it. So it's easy. You're either going to make one of these 2 forever, but later on you want to learn these to gain more points, because these ones are 1 point, 2 money. This is 2 points, 1 money. And I'll show you how that works in a second. But players are going to go around taking turns in different phases of this game until this barrel gets all the way to the 7, and then you're going to do final scoring. So what do you do on each of these rounds? Well, each of these rounds you're going to have a market phase, a distill phase, a sell phase, and an age phase. Then you're going to go and end a round and just simply like cleaning up at the end of the round. And there's a couple things that you could do at the end of the round that can help you out if you didn't sell anything. So at the market phase, players are going to take turns and they're going to purchase items from this basic market up here, or they're going to purchase premium items in here. Now, to be able to distill anything in your vat here, you're going to need to have a yeast, and they don't have this yet, so I'll set over there. A yeast, you're going to need some form of sugar and a water. This character starts out the game with a yeast, so we have a yeast. We need to have a sugar, and we need to have some water. Now, sugars are available here in the basic market, and there's 3 different types of sugar in the basic market. You're going to have your mixed grains basic sugar, you're going to have your mixed plants basic sugar, and you're going to have your mixed fruits basic sugar. Now all these will fit almost everything in the game, but notice that they don't give you any points, because ones that give you points, let me show you ones that give you points, are down here. So if I got figs, this is going to be a fruit sugar, and if I brew this and actually could sell it, it's going to be worth 3 victory points, plus I get 2 money. There's also basic water and basic yeast up here. The basic water right here, when you purchase this from the deck, from the top, you get to flip the top card of any of these market ones. You could also purchase that. This is important when you get these basic cards, because you can only purchase 2 basic cards per round. That's the max. So these let you chain a little bit. So on your turn, instead of having to wait to another turn to get one of these premiums, you could try your luck. And so let's say I purchased this one here for $1 and I got it. Well, this one's actually free, sorry. And I got it. I could flip this over and I could say maybe I want these potatoes, so I could pay $3 to get these potatoes. Otherwise, I'll slip this to the bottom if I decided I didn't want to get it. That's water. So I definitely need to pick up a water. So then it would go all the way around, come back to me. I now have a water and a yeast, so the water could go here. The yeast will go here. I still need a sugar. Now flipping back to the market, if I gain a yeast, which I don't need right now, which is a basic item, when purchased, immediately gain $1. Cannot be traded with the basic market. So I gain $1, traded with the basic market, something else in the future here, if I got that. But I don't need it because I have a yeast and I have a water. I still need a sugar on my turn, and I have 5 money. I only know how to build these 3 things. So probably I could do one of 2 different things. I could get some, on my turn, I could get a grain here, because mixed grain here is free. So that'll be my second one from the basic market. And when it comes back to me, I can make a decision. The other thing you can do on your turn is you can learn new recipes. And the way you're going to learn recipes is you're going to look where they're at on this board here. So you're going to have your bronze, you're going to have your silvers, and you're going to have your golds. So here's silvers, that's a bronze. So it's 1 bronze, 3 silvers, 3 golds. I can learn any one that I want, but their cost of learning is up here. So 2, 4, and 6. Now, what it requires to brew them is different for each one, and it's somewhat of a gamble when you brew these. You can lock them in to make sure, but it's very costly. But just to go over a couple of these, in this flight that I picked, these 2 top ones don't age. I can immediately sell them, but I can't have any fruit sugars in this one. I can only have a grain sugar, and this one I have to not have a grain or plant sugar, and I have to have a fruit sugar, and I have to age both of these in clay pots. If you look at other ones, like if you look at this one up here, sorry, yeah, this one's aged in a clay pot too. But if you look at this one and these symbols here, they don't age at all, and that'll come into play later on. There's some in here, like this is a basic one here. You got 2 on the top that don't have, or 3 that don't have to be aged. So this is a little easier for beginning players. But anyway, I'd have to see if I wanted to purchase one of those. So if I wanted the bronze one, which is only bronze, I pay 2 money. If I wanted one of the to learn one of the silver ones, I pay 4. I pay 6, and my starting resources here are actually 5. Now, it could be likely that I'm pretty much fine for my first brew being either one of those two. And if that's the case, then I'm probably going to be fine with this one yeast. So once everyone has passed during the sell phase, you're going to go into, or the market phase, sorry. You're going to do market cleanup. You're going to discard the last card of each of the premium market rows. And so those will get discarded over here. You'll go ahead and shift these down. And you'll flip out a new card for each one. Anytime you purchase a card from this market row, you would actually shift all of them down and then flip the new card over. All right before we jump into the distill phase, I'm just going to go over some of the things that are available in the market row. So you saw these ones are premium items to use for your brewing that give you coins and points. And then here's the cost down on the bottom. So they can be very costly, but they give you a lot of points and they can give you some coins. Up here is going to be your basic stuff. Here's are going to be your items. Your items are going to give you like special bottles and stuff. And if you brew them with special bottles or special containers, then you're going to gain potentially more points. The bottles also can give you endgame scoring. Up here are going to be permanent upgrades to your distillery. You have 3 slots for those. If you ever fill them all the way up and you want a different one, you just discard one of them and put one of these in this place. Here, once per market phase, you may discount 1 barrel by $2, which is pretty good. And this one here is really cool, one of my favorite ones, because you get to add a water card to your pantry during every round, which is cool. Top of the other things, there's going to be special barrels in the item stuff, but these are what's going to be required to do your timed brews. So you have the barrel and you have the pot, and you'll notice that some of these require the clay pots, and some of them require the barrels, but we'll go over that in a minute. So that's your market, and that's your basic items. So what's going to happen now? So now we're going to go into the distill phase. I'm going to pick what I want to put in for my sugars. I have to have a water and I have to have a yeast. For every sugar that I put in, I'm also going to get an alcohol. So if I put 1 sugar in, I get 1 alcohol. I put 5 sugars in, I get 5 alcohols. Then I am going to shuffle this little cards up here. And if you don't trust yourself to shuffle these properly, because, you know, this is a big part of the game, you can hand them to a player to your left and they'll shuffle them for you, and then they get to remove the top and the bottom card. Those cards get put back in your ingredients, and here I lost a yeast and a water, but I get to use those next time around, so I don't need to purchase the yeast and water. So this left me with a grain and an alcohol is what I'm going to have for my brew. And then I'm going to be able here I have to put it in something, so I can put it in the steel barrel. So now I have my basic steel barrel and I have these cards, and I'll set them aside right here for right now. And well, technically I want to see what I can make first, sorry. So because I have a grain in here, I am going to be making vodka. If I didn't have this grain in here, I could be making moonshine, but instead of making vodka. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go in turn order and we're going to claim a label. Now there's a limited amount of labels in this game. So when it comes around to my turn, I want to claim the vodka label. If there was no vodka label available, then I could still make vodka, but I won't get this really cool bonus after I sell it up on top here. After everyone's done that, you're going to go into a sell phase. Players are going to take turns selling their completed products here. You could sell lots during this round, but you could only do 1 per turn. So you have to wait till it comes back to you to do another. So on my turn here, I can sell this vodka here. And my player's going to give me $2 more. Well, I didn't use a bottle in my region, so that doesn't count, sorry. I will now flip this over. I will add a bottle. This is the bottle that always comes with the starting player. There's better bottles out there, but I didn't buy one this time. I sort of wanted to build up a little money. So this is going to give me $3 when I sell this. So I'll sell these and they're going to go back in their respective places. So I'll gain my $3. So now I'm at 7 that I can spend on my turn. Next round, sorry. So I'll get myself $3. The metal barrel and the bottle goes back. Technically, the bottle, if I have multiple versions here, I can reuse this bottle each time it comes back around to me to sell. So I got my $3. The alcohol will go back in the alcohol pile here, and the grain will go back in the grain here. If I had a special bottle that I used, that would go off to the side, and that would be used for endgame scoring. So that is the sell phase. The age phase, if I had any alcohol here I was aging, I would be able to put a flavor token underneath it. So what does aging mean in this game? So what aging means is I would have picked up either this wooden barrel or this clay pot, and I'd be trying to develop one of these to age, or my signature one. So I would have had to purchase the recipe earlier. When you put these out, you're going to, let's say I had cards under here, and I had that same cards earlier, I could put this barrel on top. I would still have got my label from around the round, and I would place it on top. Then each round I would have put a flavor underneath it. And I won't know what that flavor is, but they're going to give me lots of points when I sell it. And we're going to run back to that, but real quick, what this label would have meant. So after I sold my alcohol, I could pick one of these bonus slots and either get the bonus to the left or the points to the right. And this is the only way that you can actually get your signature ingredients. If I go here, I can now get my signature ingredients, and now that's available to me. And I want to hold on to that until I can use that for my signature recipe, because it'll be worth a lot more points. But aging is going to work that way. We're going to keep putting these under there. And then when I go to sell this, I will take a look at what this was. I'll get my coins for it, and I'm going to get a bunch of victory points. So these can be all sorts of different scents here. Some of them are, you don't know what you're going to get. So some of them here, this one's cake. This one has the taste of bandages. This one's nutty, which is good. Maple. This one tastes like a sports bag. This one's oaky. I believe there's a manure in here smell. So, you never know what taste you're going to, skunky. This one has seaweedy, salty, horse blanket. Smells like rubber tires and plastic. So, you're not sure what scents you're going to get, but they're all going to give you points. So again, I'm just really briefly going over these, how to play the game itself, and just giving you a general idea how to play. This won't actually, I'm not going over all the rules. So this is the general flow of the game, we'll say. All right, so now that I have a lot of money and I didn't buy this barrel, the next round would start. There's a little bit for end round cleanup. You're going to check for fulfilled spirit awards. So if anyone fulfills these spirit awards, which you're going to be looking at throughout the game, everyone that fulfilled it that round is going to gain the points here. Now the points, if you win it solely, you'll get 7 points. If you win it as a group, multiple people, you're going to divide that up and round up for your score points. So if 2 people won this, each person's going to get 4 points. So that's part of the end round. If you didn't sell anything, you can spend points away from yourself. So when I sold mine, I would have gained some points. I would be up here a little bit. I could have sold some of my points, so I could sell up to 4. I can lose up to 4 points and gain some coins back to help me out in the next round. All right, and then finally you're going to turn your first player token. You're going to pass it clockwise. And at the end of the third round, when we actually go here, part of the cleanup is you're going to have to discard one of the goals that you have in your hand. So you'll be down to 3 goals. So you're going to pick one that you have little hope of actually gaining. So we'll put this flavor back, and I have these available to me. All right. So it's the new round. We go back into the market phase. And in the market phase, I can now buy stuff when it comes around to me. I would have passed away this token here. And I could pick up to 2 basic items from there, and I can get anything I want to afford from the market. I have my yeast and I have my water, so I'm only looking at sugars. And I can maybe purchase one of these labels. So let's say I want to. So it comes to my turn and I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to try to get that one. So this is a bronze, so it's going to cost me 2 money. So I'll pay 2 money. And I could put a bronze cube there, which indicates that I've learned that recipe. Now I want to try to gain that recipe. Well, I have my sugar, I have my yeast, I have my water. This one requires grain sugars. Well, there's a couple different ways I can go about this. One here is going to be try to get some more points, so I could spend 3 money here and gain this grain. And now this would have shifted over, but they're already over there, and I flip this next one over. Comes back to me, and now I can still get stuff from the basic market. Now this one here is going to require that it is aged, so I'm going to need to have a clay pot. So I could purchase this clay pot here, and that would cost me 3 money. So now I have a clay barrel and 1 grain. Well, that's not great as my odds to be able to produce this with a grain. So I want to make it easier for me to do this. I'll go ahead and pick up 2 of these grains, and I can use them in the future too. So now that one at a time, I would have got one, then it came back to me and I got another one. Now that that market phase is over, like we know, we go to the distill phase. In the distill phase here, I could, let's say, I definitely want to use this one. And I'm going to hold on to one of these. I'm going to take a little small gamble, and I'm going to put one of these in there. So because I have 2 sugars, I'm going to get 2 alcohols, so I'll put those in there. And then we're going to go ahead. Oh, also, when I sold my vodka, I would have gotten $2, or $1, sorry. $1 and 2 victory points. So I would have got some points in there. And then I'll take this, I will shuffle it up, and we're going to remove the top and the bottom card. So here's an alcohol, and here's the expensive grain that I just bought. That is sad. These alcohols work as a little bit of a wild. In future rounds, I can use this as a yeast or a water, which is really cool. Well, I do still have my grain in here. So with this, I can make that recipe. If I wanted to, I would take this, would be the container that it would go into. And we go around and we pick our labels. On my turn, if it's available still, I can grab that label and I'll place it on there. Now, I won't be able to, when we move to the market or the sell phase, I won't be able to sell anything because this needs to age. So for this round, I wouldn't be doing anything, but I would get one of those flavor cards and put it on here. Now I can age this thing for as long as I want. I can keep getting flavor notes over there to get more and more points. And when I'm ready to sell it, I can. So this round I might do that. Next round, I'm a little light on money. I only have 1. I didn't sell anything. I could have got rid of some of my points for coins, which I may do because I do have the opportunity to potentially try to make this one again and just reoccurringly sell it for money. So there's a lot of decisions that you need to make on how long you want to age these for, what you're going to do in the next round, because obviously since I spent all that money to put that together, I'm not selling it this round, so now I'm down a little bit of funds. So maybe I want to make a quick vodka or moonshine next round, or maybe I just want to try to get rid of some of my points that I got to get enough money to be able to start another one of these, because I can purchase another clay pot and I have what I need here. and sell this the next round and have another one going, and maybe let that one sit for a little longer, or maybe use the funds that I have to move up the track here, or maybe use the extra funds to get one of the upgrades or buy a fancy bottle to put my vodka in, or one of many different things. So, or use a fancy bottle for when I sell this too. That's another trick that you can use. So there's a lot of cool decisions in this game, and I didn't really go over a lot of the rules, but that's the basic flow of this game. And let's go ahead back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Distilled. So there's a couple things. One is component quality in this game is insane. It is just amazing. Now, it is born from Kickstarter, so most of the stuff born from Kickstarter has great component quality, you could say. However, this goes beyond that. The insert in it is perfect. It makes it super easy to set up. I love the little trays for the money that are in there. Just overall, the production quality of this game is phenomenal, and I love it for that. I also like the theme a lot, so I like all the different labels. I like all the different art for all the different sugars that you can put in your vat there to produce your alcohol. Overall, production quality, card quality, everything great. Iconography great. Super easy to learn the iconography for this game. Super straightforward. Flows really well because of that. So yeah, art, components, great. Gameplay, I really, really like this game. I love the little push your luck sort of element in it when you're finally making your batch to sell, where you have to lose the top and lose the bottom. And whether you're going to try to ensure that you will get what you want to build to produce the liquor that you want, or you want to try to take a little bit of a gamble and maybe, have to make that vodka again, as long as there's, and hope that there's still labels left over. And there's a lot of different strategy in this game. There's so many layers of strategy in this game. It's insane. And this is one of the games that, yes, playing it through the first time, you're really going to get a good idea of how the game plays and gain new strategies for the next game. But it's still a lot of fun. And I never felt like, even through the first game or whatnot, that I was put out or anything like that. It's your own strategy going forward. You do have to pay attention to the labels that are available, but that's part of the game. You still can sell your alcohol if the label's not available and get all of the points you want. You're just not going to get that bonus on the top, which is big. Filling up those bonuses is a big thing in the game, and something that you want to have occur, but doesn't have to. And whether you're going to, which flight you're going to use, there's just so much variability in the game and so much replayability in the game because of all those different flights that you can pick. So, and it's just a giant stack of those too. So just in that, you have a ton of replayability because it changes the landscape of the game based on like whether they're all going to have to be aged, or there's a lot that don't have to be aged, how many are in that bronze and silver and gold level for how much you have to pay to learn the recipes. It's just so much really cool stuff happening in this game, and really cool strategy. And the strategy is also really cool in the fact that it's your strategy. You are you choose your own destiny with that. There's not very much. There is stuff that happens with the other player, which I do appreciate because it does introduce that player interaction in the game. But overall, I never felt like my strategy was completely ruined by another player. It may not have been as awesome as I wanted because they took all the labels, but it was still good. So you sort of build up a strategy, and it's really cool seeing that everyone's strategy can be different because there's so many different avenues you can take to getting to where you want to be. Like you may forego getting large amounts of points in the beginning just to gather up money and be able to get those and age those barrels for a long period of time to get those like huge point rewards in the game, which is a lot of fun. It's especially really fun to flip that over and see all the different flavors that you have in your aged barrel. And it's funny just to pretend like how well that went out for you and what you actually think of it. But And also those public goals, there's a giant stack of those public goals available for those awards. So that changes a lot every game. And those are really fun. You do have to watch those because that's a good chunk of points that you can get through that. And it's a really exciting feeling hitting that 50-point mark because you put your little 50-point chit on there. And then if you hit the 100, you're just like, wow, I'm amazing. It's a lot of fun. And I really feel like this one matches the theme pretty well. I mean, I don't know a lot about distilleries other than from what I read from here. But I think this is great. It's actually getting me into the whole distilling thing and learning more about the different types of alcohols that can be produced from it. It's really cool and really interesting to me, at least. And I really like, so they have this first taste. So this is actually really cool. So this is nice to have out on the table for your first time players. You can go over the rules in it and stuff. But this gives you like a play-by-play. If you want to have one of the players borrow it and just read through it, this gives them an extremely good idea how to play the game and gives them some, you know, tips and neat strategies that they can take for their first game. But yeah, overall, I review a lot of games, but not a lot of them make it to my collection. This one's going to make it into my collection. I feel that it's going to make it to the table a lot. I feel that the gameplay in this game is solid, and I really liked it. So if you're looking for if you like the theme, and there's several sort of distillation style games out here, I think this one is the best. So I would highly recommend checking this game out if you like the theme a lot, because it is a really great game built on that theme. If you're looking for a game that is a little bit of push your luck and a lot of strategy on like which route you go and a lot of different routes that you can go to achieve the same goal, this is also another game that you want to check out. Playtime for this game, even though it goes through the 7 rounds, isn't bad. I believe it says 30 minutes per player. Sure. But it does get a lot faster when you play with people that know how to play the game. It just burns through the turns because you're not doing actually a whole lot in each of these phases. You're going around in circles, but by the time it gets back to you, you pretty much know what your strategy is, so you know what you want to get, and there's no one that's really going to ruin it for you. Now, there are limited stacks on there. I've never really had them run out. I guess that could happen, but really good game. Really highly recommend it, and that is Distilled. And that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.